Alongside Jay McLennan Noodles, last year the Leafs were 6-5-2 through the first 13 games of the season. They changed the coach, they changed the captain, they changed a number of different players. And this year through 13 games, the exact same 6-5-2 record. Is this a failure to progress or just the learning curve that comes with Berube's new system, Noodles?
Well, at least they're consistent, Gino. I mean, you look at that. If there's some consistency to it, this is what they look like. I think there's a little bit of everything, right? You've got some new players infused. Yes, Auston Matthews is the captain. I don't know how heavy that weighs on him, to be honest. He's an elite player. But the spine of the team remains the same, but everybody around it has changed a little bit. You're asking some more from younger players to push through. You're asking some veteran guys to find another level. John Tavares is another year older. I think the defensive core has been shored up with some of the moves that Brad Treliving has made. But I think the biggest question mark is in net. You know, I like the signing of Anthony Stolarz. But if you look at it, he's played 27 and 28 games respectively. That's the most he's ever played in a season. So it's more about what is the question mark? What is Joseph Woll? Is he a number one? Is he more of a 1A? Is he a tandem guy? To me, there's lots of questions surrounding this team, a lot like last year. But when you have the same spine and really the same salary structure, that's what it's going to be year in and year out. They'll be a very good team. They'll make the playoffs. They'll do all of these things. But then the question marks really start in April when the playoffs start.
I want to ask you about the goaltending in a second, but first, Auston Matthews on a pace for 32 goals, less than half his total from last season. He hasn't scored 5-on-5 in 8 games now. Is this Matthews trying to change his game under Berube, or is this just a simple cold streak?
A little bit of both. I think it's a cold streak for sure. But also, Craig Berube has asked some of these players to play a little bit more straight line, dump and chase type of hockey. That's the type of hockey he believes will have success in the playoffs. So you can see, to a man, sometimes the guy's thinking out there instead of reacting. The only guy who really hasn't is William Nylander. He kind of just does his thing. He's a very unique player, uses his skill set. We thought he was going to be a centerman. All of a sudden, he's a winger. All of these types of things. He is a winger, and he's a top-tier winger. But I look at it from Auston Matthews' standpoint. Goal scorers are streaky. We could be having this conversation 2 weeks from now and Auston Matthews has 10 more goals. That's just what he does. I'm not worried about his production. I'm more worried about the bigger picture of this group. If they're going to play it a little bit more physical, a little bit more tougher, that might wear them down physically and maybe draw out a few more injuries. Because when you play physical, you get involved physical. During the regular season, this team really hasn't been an overly physical team. So when you hit and you receive hits, there might be some injuries that are tied to that.
All right, back to the goaltending now. And it looks like the Leafs are certainly trying to make Joseph Woll their number one. Maybe trying to force it. 8 goals against in 3 starts since he came back, just 1 win. What do you think of what you've seen from him? And should the Leafs be looking to him, or would you rather see them ride Anthony Stolarz while he's hot the way he is?
I think you're going to see Stolarz get some more starts, but I think Joseph Woll has to push through. This is a healthy competition in the net. And Joseph Woll, one thing, if you get over a hurdle where you're healthy, the next step is to push for minutes in the net. That's what he needs to do against Stolarz.
The Leafs only 1 point ahead of Boston after 13 games. FanDuel has Toronto listed at plus 370 to come back and win the Atlantic, while the Bruins are plus 800.